Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our first episode of EDocumentALK Series. My name is Liza Cabaluna. You can call me Miss Lai, and I will be your student council moderator for the entire episode. Before I will formally introduce you, our resource speakers, I would like you to enlighten what is EDocumentALK. So during this time of pandemic, we are required to just stay at home to, of course, lessen the numbers of the COVID-19 patients. And so here we have come to a decision in making EDocumentALK for at least we could help the youth, especially the students, to still learn about how important education, even if we are now in new normal. For today's topic, we will discuss about the essence of authentic assessment, and to begin with, we have 6 resource speakers coming from St. Peter's College, Iligan City. First, we have Mr. Jonathan Valiente, a mathematics student and an EDSA officer. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone.
Next, we have Miss Reina Sherry Diazis, a 4th-year English student. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning, Miss Lai. Good morning, everyone.
Third, we have Mr. Ryan Dan Obina, a 4th-year English student and an EDSA officer. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Lai. Good morning, everyone.
Then we have Miss Annalyn Hernando, a 4th-year English student. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Liza, and to everyone.
Fifth is we have Miss Mary Grace Malagum. She is also a 4th-year English student. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Miss Lai. Good morning, everyone.
And the last but not the least, we have Mr. Gerald J. Balanay, a 4th-year mathematics student. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone.
Everyone, at the end of this episode, we will answer 5 questions from the subject of Eduk 11. First question, we have, what is the difference between assessment, evaluation, and testing? Second question, we have, what is authentic assessment? Third question is we have to describe or explain what is the characteristics and phases of authentic assessment. Fourth question is what is the difference between traditional assessment and authentic assessment? And the last question, to be answered by the resource speakers later on, is if you will become a teacher, what will you use, the traditional or the authentic assessment? So let's begin. First, let's ask Ms. Malagum. Ma'am, from your previous years of college, can you please tell us the difference between assessment, evaluation, and testing?
Yes, well, during my stay for about 3 years in college, I could humbly differentiate the three. The difference between assessment, evaluation, and testing is that assessment is the act of gathering information to understand the individual's learning and need, while evaluation is referred to as the culminating act of interpreting the gathered information to make for the purpose of making a judgment about the student's learning and needs. And also, testing refers to the procedures that are based on tests. In learning, testing is a salient part of the assessment.
Well said. Thank you, Ms. Malagum. Now, for the second question, what is authentic assessment? Can we ask Ms. Diazis for this?
Yes. Okay, so an authentic assessment, it is an evaluation process that involves multiple forms of performance measurement reflecting students' learning, achievement, motivation, and attitude on instructional relevant activities. A typical example of an authentic assessment includes performance assessment, portfolios, and self-assessment. That's all.
Well, so do you have something to add, Mr. Obina?
Well, Miss Lai, authentic assessment really could measure students' intellect, especially this will work using collaborative approach.
Thank you, Ms. Diazis and Mr. Avina. Now, to discuss with us the characteristics and phases of authentic assessment, we have Ms. Hernando. Ms. Hernando?
Okay, so an authentic assessment is realistic in nature. So it should pose an interesting problem that can be visualized and understood. It also involves hands-on activities to keep it engaging and at the same time apply collaborative learning. So the activities should be complex enough that the student must apply variety of skills and information seeking methods in order to reach a viable solution. So it is also a requirement that the students actually perform some tasks. And the most effective of the authentic assessments involve multiple learning modalities and complex applications of different types of skills. That's all.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hernando. Now, after knowing the phases of authentic assessment, let us know what is the difference between traditional and authentic assessment. Let's have Mr.
Yente.
So we all know that traditional assessment uses questions with limited number of answer choices, or what we call pen and paper assessment. So authentic assessment is an assessment which measures students' learning according to the application of skills during performance of a real-world task. It means that learner needs to demonstrate his knowledge by doing real-life situation or learning by doing. So that's all. Like.
Do you have something to add, Mr. Balanay?
Well, traditional assessment is the one that's used before in this
Mm-hmm.
21st century. We are now using authentic assessment, and I believe this really helps our students to develop their own learning.
All right, well said, teachers. So this time, since our future teachers had shared their thoughts about those four questions a while ago, please keep on watching for we will know more about what could be the best kind of assessment do they want to use in today's generation, whether they still choose to traditional assessment or the authentic assessment. Please keep on watching.
For me, an authentic assessment is better compared to a traditional one. It is because the student is asked to perform real world tasks that demonstrate meaningful application of what they have learned. This will also help my students to be active in participating in classroom activities.
For me, authentic assessment is better than traditional. Why? Because it is where I could directly examine students' performances related to their intellectual tasks. It helped me to facilitate students' participation and provide learning with relevant information, as this emphasizes real-world problems and at the same time, it measures the individual growth of a student.
For me, authentic assessment is more effective than traditional. It simply encourages real world experiences. We all know that real life situations can have a meaningful experiences for lifelong learning. Hence, the activities that the teacher prepares for would be engaging and encourages collaborative learning.
If I were to choose between the two kinds of assessment, I would rather choose authentic assessment. In our generation today, students' performance is more important and useful, since this assessment pertains to learning by doing. It will help my students to develop their critical thinking skills.
As a teacher in the future, we are not only wanting our students realize the content of the disciplines. Of course, we want them to use those experiences and skills to use them in real life situations. Authentic assessment provides a great improvement to the individual.
As a future mathematics teacher, using authentic assessment is more reliable compared to the traditional. We all know that teachers nowadays serve as a facilitator. Thus, the students are in charge as to their learning. In mathematics, learning by doing will enhance their skills in solving problems involving real-life situations.
This is Educational Documentary Talk Series. Thank you for watching. Keep safe and stay healthy. It's me, Liza Cabaluna, your Student Council moderator, leaving this quote: "The passport to a better future is through education."